All right, guys, Joe at Colab Garage. We're here with our second installment of the R8 Turbo Kit installation. So as we mentioned in the previous video, which I'll link up here in the corner, we did all the front end stuff, which was mounting the heat exchangers, the water tank, and running the lines to the back of the car. So as we mentioned, we're just going to kind of work our ways from the front, middle, back. Not necessarily the traditional way of doing it. A lot of people would start at the back and then work their way to the front and go in between. But for the video series, we're just trying to make it from, front of the car to the back of the car. So what you're going to see Angel working on here in time lapse, and we'll kind of jump in and out and kind of show you what we're doing. We're going to start wiring up the fuel system that has a pretty big power wire that goes from the battery to the ID fuel pump controller. And then we'll dive into installing the fuel pump into the tank. We'll also be installing our fire suppression, and typically we would mount that in the front area, but on this car, because it has a roll bar, we're going to mount the fire suppression bottle, the 3 kilogram Novec Lifeline system. We're going to mount that to the cage, and then we'll route the power buttons for that, and the trigger mechanism, and then the inside the driver compartment line. And then we'll have everything kind of going out the back to the engine bay, and then we'll get the car back on the lift and finish installing the turbo kit, the intake manifold, the rest of the fuel system, and so on. So with that, we'll hop into some time lapse, and we'll see you on the flip side. All right, guys, so just come out of time lapse. Not a ton of stuff to show you there, but I'm going to just take a pause before we dive into the fuel tank so you can kind of see how the wiring aspect of this goes, because this BPC 100 box from Injector Dynamics has pretty high power demands. Fully cranked up, it can draw up to 80 amps. Usually don't see that, but you got to wire it accordingly for that. So down here in the battery box, they supply, like we showed in our unboxing video, 120 amp circuit breaker that goes straight to the battery. We have all this out so you can kind of see where this goes. And then I showed you also in the unboxing video, they're using this Motorsport, it's called Radlock connector. So it's a kind of a button with a spiral inside there. I don't know if the camera's picking that up or not. And then a push button release. So down here, we have it lit up. You can see the stud that goes on the Radlock, so that just allows you to pass power through and make its own little bulkhead. So to install something like this, all you do is put it on, you push it over till you hear it click, and then you'll put the boot over the top. It's that simple. So coming around to the side here, I'm gonna see if we can get the camera down in the wheel well so you can see there's also basically a pass-through that comes from that. It's a little link that goes over to where the block-off plate is on the steering column if this was a right-hand drive car. So we pass the power through that. All right, so moving around to the inside from the dummy block-off plate, we pass the wiring for the main power through there, and we just follow the main wiring harness. You can kind of see this is routed along and underneath the channel for the seat Comes up around here through the plastic channeling for all the other harnessing on the car, and then right up into where the BPC box is going to be permanently mounted. We're not quite done with that yet. We'll get to that in the final step. Also, while we had this all torn apart, we ran the control wire that goes from the Motec to the intercooler water pump. So if you don't have that, that would just be triggered by ignition power and live in the back of the car. But since we have Motec, we run a control wire through, and we just kind of follow the OEM wiring, added some additional Tessa tape, so it's all in the spirit of OEM, back out through to the front. So what you're going to see next is Angel going in, removing the fuel pump hat. We're going to make the modification so we can add the big Veyron ELM 55 pump. And we'll get the control wires installed here, and you'll also see us go into the driver's side and make some modifications to that side of the tank so we have enough fuel getting to the pump to deliver it to the engine. All right, guys, so what you saw in that last round of time lapse, quite a bit going on there. We pulled the fuel pump assembly out of the car, and then Angel took it into the fab room and kind of got a nice little clean area to modify the internal pump assembly. And even though this is a single pump system, a lot of systems go with a dual brushless pump. Because we're using the BPC control box. It allows us to run, you know, up to 2,000 plus horsepower on ethanol fuel with a single pump. We still have to modify that basket to allow you to put that one pump in the alternate location, so everything will then fit back down into the tank properly. Also, you saw him dive into the driver's side just to make a few modifications. So when we add bigger fuel systems to these cars, you end up getting rid of the regulator and the filtration assembly that's in the driver's side, because you're now going to do all that externally in the engine bay, and you'll see that in the next portion of the video. And then basically button everything back up and then hook up the box. We also had to run some wires from here to the Motec, a CAN control wire, so we know basically how to control the pump based off of different engine conditions. So what you're going to see next, we're going to button all this back up, and not really part of the turbo kit install. We're going to show the Boost Logic roll bar going in and the fire suppression. In this car, normally we put them in the frunk, but for this, we're going to try something different for this customer. We're going to put it behind the seat, hanging off of the roll bar. Hopefully that all works out nicely, and then we'll finally have the interior of the car buttoned up, and we'll move on to the other side of the firewall to do the fuel system components that go right on the other side of the firewall. And then we'll probably jump into a totally separate video going into the intake manifold and finally installing the turbo kit. So we'll go back into time lapse. All right, guys, so you saw not as much time lapse as we were hoping to grab, but we're going to walk you through what we did in the middle section of the car, but we finally have the front put back together from the first video. You can see everything's back on the front here and fitting. You can see the heat exchangers fitting through there. Everything's trimmed up and bolted up perfectly. We also finally got the wiring done on the pump in the frunk. That was all kind of part of what needed to run into the interior. So follow me around to the inside and we'll look at how the inside came together. So first I want to point out the fire suppression in the car. We didn't film any of that. Check out a video up in that corner for our install on our fire suppression. This one we did a little bit differently. We mounted the bottle on the inside, but the nozzle for the driver lives right here. We've done them over here previously, but we think this might be a good alternative spot. Also, the button to activate the fire suppression is right here on the column, and that's with the column pressed all the way forward, so you got plenty of travel. We also, one of our new products that we've released is a fire bottle mount out of Colab carbon. This allows you to mount the bottle on the inside and have everything tucked up right behind the seat. You'll be able to easily access the control box for doing all your testing and whatnot. Again, check out our other video on the fire suppression. And then finally, we got the Boost Logic roll bar installed in the car in the same purple that the turbo kit's made out of. So that turned out awesome. Everything fits perfectly. And let's come around right to the back here and we'll finish up this video. Okay, so we finally made it to this side of the firewall where all the magic's going to happen. The intake manifold, the rest of the turbo kit, but we'll follow up on those on the next two videos we're going to do in the series. What we want to highlight here is just the things that are permanently attached to the car. On this side of the firewall, you have the fuel pressure regulator that gets added. You have the return line that goes into the OEM return. The fire suppression line that ran through as well to the four-way T that'll go off to the various branches when we do that part of the install. And then finally, the fuel filter from Injector Dynamics that was coming out of the top hat on the fuel pump assembly that we installed on the inside. comes over there. It's going to go to the flex fuel sensor and then around to the fuel rails and on to the rest of the fuel system. But we'll cover all that. The next video is going to be the intake manifold and the rest of the fuel system install. And then we'll get to the back of the car and do the rest of the turbo kit. So with that, we'll see you guys on the next video.